me nuts.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Suds News. As always, I am Vinny, and this is Angela. And we are here live, and for the first time, we're actually on Angela's Twitter account.
I'm checking that now.
So,
are we?
We are live here on Twitter, multiple Twix accounts. We are live on multiple YouTube accounts, and a Facebook account. Next week we'll be on a different account. However, I do want to let everybody know that this is only show number 1 for tonight. We're doing a doubleheader. Tonight we are doing Suds News, obviously right now, but afterwards at 10 p.m. Eastern, we are doing the new show Gate Crashers, which is centered around Beyond the Gates, of course.
Mm-hmm. And that we have a lot to talk about there.
We absolutely do. Kim will be joining us, and we'll be doing we'll be going ahead and doing the first week of the debut show. Not sure if we're going to do it every week or whatever, but we're going to test it out, see what everybody thinks, and see what we think, and if we can keep it up. But just a lot of good soapiness this week on both shows that we're going to cover tonight. But I have to say, for our GH fans that may not want to tune in for Gate Crashers later on, what were your first impressions of Beyond the Gates?
Loved it.
I did too.
Loved it. We watched it all last week.
Okay.
After GH in our Zoom, because we do our watch Zooms.
Yep.
So we watched it in the Zoom every day after General Hospital. Okay. And then on Saturday night, we actually did a binge watch of all 5 episodes in the Zoom.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Watching again. Yeah, because it was just so much.
It was a lot. And I really enjoyed how they introduced all the characters and basically got the ball rolling on multiple good stories. Mm-hmm.
They really did. I mean, it was just a fabulous kickoff for a new soap.
It really was. And folks, go ahead and jump in the pool, jump in the comments section live on whether it's on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, regardless of what it is. Go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, get notified. And it's going to be great because then you'll go ahead and get notified for the next show as well. Also, I do want to point out that we at Chair Shot Sports, obviously this show is part of the Chair Shot Sports umbrella. We're actually going to be having 2 simultaneous live shows, which is why we added on a couple different destinations for Gate Crashers. And we're going to be not only broadcasting Gate Crashers at 10, but 10:30 starts a Raw Rewind. So if you like, whether you like sports, wrestling, or soaps, we've got it all covered for you tonight. But I do want to also make mention and let everybody know to keep the date in 2 weeks from tonight on Monday, March 17th. We are going to be doing our selection show for our Soap Stars March Madness, the 2nd annual. The tournament that we're going to be doing, we're going to break each show down into their own brackets. GH will have their own brackets. Days will have their own bracket. The Bay and Bold and Beautiful will share a bracket. And then Y&R and Beyond the Gates will share a bracket as well. And then we'll find out who the fans like for their character favorites. I'll be doing, as always, we'll be doing the Twitter polls for that. But we draw names at random. That'll be in 2 weeks. Kim will be joining us as well for that day. That's March 17th. boy, we're about 5 minutes in. Where is everybody? Normally we have a lively chat by now. But either way, I do want to welcome everybody who is watching. We're getting those numbers up there. After the major upset, or not major upset, but major there's Quiet Star 81. Welcome to the chat. Good evening to you as well. After the shocking turn of events of Saturday night's Elimination Chamber, John Cena, for the first time in over almost 2 decades, becoming a heel and turning on Cody Rhodes and joining The Rock. Everybody was shell-shocked, and it's one of the biggest turns in wrestling history. Just absolutely fantastic booking by Triple H. But again, that's for another show. We're here for General Hospital.
Yes, we are.
A lot of stuff coming down the pike. We had a great week. Happy Scrabble Day to you too, Zach. Not sure. Is it really National Scrabble Day?
Yes.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Uh-huh.
But every day is a holiday nowadays, so it makes sense.
I have a really funny Scrabble story to tell real quick. So
Okay.
I found one of my daughter's diaries from when she was like 8 or 9.
Yep.
It was like a little Junie B. Jones diary. So I was looking at it and it said favorite board games, least favorite board games. And her least favorite one was Scrabble, and she spelled it incorrectly. I'm like, well, that's not hard to see. Yeah.
That explains it.
She's very, very intelligent. She just, she was young. What are you going to do? But it was just ironic and funny that.
That makes total sense. Believe you me. I have to say my least favorite board game happens to be Monopoly. That game could end relationships. And,
it really could.
it could last forever.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever played a game of Monopoly like it with the family without it ending up with somebody flipping the board at the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. But folks, I do want to go ahead and mention that it's been a huge week. Obviously for soaps, like I said, we had the first week of Beyond Gates. It's in the books. Soap operas are rising. And I don't watch Saturday Night Live, but trust me, it's not way too late for me. But they were mentioned during Weekend Update.
Which is awesome.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
Just the fact that it's made news, and not to mention, stop with the tribalism, please, because even the stars from the other soaps and the official, I think it was the official Days of Our Lives account, actually congratulated Beyond the Gates on their debut week. So, we saw
a bunch of the GH actors have, and it's all daytime is a community. This is not, they're not in competition with each other like people think that they are. It's not like that with the ratings. They're not.
No.
And a rising tide
raises all ships.
Lifts all ships.
Yep, exactly.
And
remember, Beyond the Gates is in their honeymoon period right now. They just started. Today was especially good. I completely agree. And they're in their honeymoon period. It's their first week. I give it 6 months until everything kind of settles into place of how it's going to move. And you know what? I have full faith in the writing staff over there and the actors that are there as well. And again, remember, it's something new. It's something brand new. So, it's going to be watched more than any other one, because all the other shows are, established. They have their fan base. And GH saw a rise in their ratings as well.
Yeah.
This past week from Beyond.
Yeah, they're back up, and they're back up over 2 million. But I mean, GH has been on fire this sweeps.
It has.
So yeah.
So anyway, so great. We're gonna just love the crap out of these soap operas and just support them all, you know. And it's like, I understand there's going to be storylines you don't like. There's going to be couples you don't like, whatever. That's the point of it, you know?
That's every show.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's every show, that's every genre of entertainment. So, go ahead and like what you like, hate what you hate, but don't be one of those people that wishes for cancellation.
Listen, I have never hated a fictional character, and I'm talking about across all fiction. I have never hated a fictional character like I hate Sonny Corinthos. General Hospital is still my favorite show. And he leads the episode counts every year. So, you can hate something with a passion and still enjoy the overall.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. You are exactly right. Believe me. Okay. So, we're going to get into it today. And trust me, today's episode was on fire just like the rest of them. We see, where do you want to start? What story do you want to start with?
We can do the Tracy and Martin and Lois. That was funny. And good, and Alexis, yeah.
Yeah, that was absolutely fantastic. That the Tracy and Martin squabbling over the bear, the crypt that is on public land.
And I've seen people complaining because legally, after 10 years, if it's not called out by the city or called out by, then the property stands, and that crypt has been there way longer than 10 years. But it's a soap opera.
Yes.
Alien above Anna's garage. Weather machine that can freeze the world, powered by a diamond. We can suspend some disbelief, okay?
Absolutely. So. No, I enjoyed it, and honestly, I didn't know that fact. But
I see the bitching, and the things people will bitch about as just.
Trust me, there's a lot of bitching going on, especially about Josh joining the WSB. But we'll get into that later.
We will, yes. I have some thoughts about that bitching as well.
Yeah.
If there's one thing about me, you know that I'm going to have thoughts. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So, that's why we have a whole show dedicated to your thoughts.
Yes. Tracy and Martin, I love their back and forth. I know that they're, at least the last thing they had indicated is that, back in when they did the year split, the year preview, they had indicated they were going to go towards a relationship with Tracy and Martin. Okay. I like their contentiousness and their back and forth, but I'd rather see them with Alexis.
Yes, I do. I agree.
I think that chemistry is better with Alexis, and I'd rather him and Tracy just continue to snipe at each other because they have to deal with each other.
Yes.
They do
I like that.
Them, it'll be lost.
I mean, we've seen a number of relationships start with them being on opposite sides of an argument, a debate, the law, like Brooklyn and Chase. So we've seen that happen. I wouldn't mind seeing Martin with Alexis because I agree. I think that chemistry works a lot better in terms of a relationship role.
My thing about it, I think that Tracy and Martin could pull off a relationship, but that we would lose their cattiness to each other and pettiness and sniping. Yes. We would lose that. And I hate the idea of losing that because it's just so much fun.
Yeah, no,
you're put him with Alexis. Yep. And they can bring somebody in for Tracy. Hell, have her be with Yuri, have her be getting her back broke by Yuri every once in a while. You know what I mean? Tracy doesn't, she's the matriarch. She doesn't need she had the, loves of her life, and nobody's gonna, replace them at this point. So just, let her have a little fun, but she doesn't need to be with Martin.
No, I agree. And I think, when they had this situation with Gregory, and she was starting to, have feelings for Gregory, and then he passed away and stuff. It's like, that at this point in her life, in this point, it's like, you know what? you don't need a man. You know, you don't need to have a relationship. Just good friends, and
Yeah.
I want to see
Friends with
more.
benefits, maybe.
Well, that too, yeah, that too. But I was thinking more along the lines of, her and Stella and having more of
Oh,
those scenes.
I love her and Stella.
Yes.
I absolutely love her and Stella. I think they would be, I mean, I know that a lot of people are hoping that Monica leaves Tracy the house, and she might.
Yeah.
But if she didn't, how fun would it be for Tracy to move out and protest and her and Stella to get like a little Golden Girls? That'd be so much fun.
Yes, it would be. That would be hilarious. Um,
I
but
was just thinking that would be a lot of fun too.
but this whole thing started because Tracy put in a cease and desist order against Drew to not use the last name Quartermain.
Which I hate Drew. I mean, he's a
Yeah.
love-hate character, but the man is a Quartermain.
Yeah.
Alan Quartermain was his father. It's
Yeah.
his name. And it's really fun. It's really not like that name is unsoiled.
Right. You're not kidding.
And Tracy's so, about the family name. This is the same woman that, was ready to let her father die rather than be cut out of the will.
Yes.
And and stood there and watched him dying. So, it's kind of laughable with everything that Alan and Monica did, with everything that Edward did, with everything that Tracy did. All of a sudden, Drew, he's a douche. He slept with his nephew's wife. He's having an affair with her. Yeah. It's absolutely douchey, but it's not like.
Yeah. On the scale
it's not even in the top 10 of the worst things the Quartermains have done.
Exactly. I mean, Alan tried to, kill Monica and her
boyfriend.
Her boyfriend, yeah, which was Rick. Was it Rick?
Yep.
And ended up having the roof fall on him. So it's
Alan forced himself on Drew's not even the one who did the worst thing to Michael of the Quartermains. AJ kidnapped him and made him pose for pictures, making him look like he was dead from a gunshot wound.
Oh, wow.
To send to Carly and Sonny to make them think that Michael was dead so he could just take off with him.
Oh my God.
And Michael was little. He was like 8 or 9. So, you can't tell me that's not damaging. Freaking Monica let Michael think that he had killed AJ.
Yeah.
When AJ wasn't dead. And the kid had all kinds of trauma from that.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean, one of them sleeping with his wife is the least of what the Quartermains have done to him.
Yeah. So, I mean, the Quartermains themselves are full of shade, and it's like Tracy's like, you know what, it's not worth it. Just drop the whole thing. And then Martin comes back with, "Oh, you're admitting it. I'm going to go file the petition now to have them dug up." Yeah. So it's just, I would miss that kind of pettiness.
And I love Tracy and I love the character of Martin, but do any of us want to see that love scene?
No.
Okay, I mean, let's be real. I want there be mention of Tracy getting her back broke. I don't want to see Tracy getting her back broke.
No, exactly. You're exactly
right. And it's not just Tracy. I mean, there are plenty of people I do not want to see having sex on that show.
Right. No, so, I completely agree.
I have a picture of Sonny from after he had sex with Nina and Carly walked in on him that I used to traumatize the Jarly Zooms. When they're misbehaving, I put the scream cap up. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm horrible.
That's evil.
It is. It is. You wait till I'll send you the picture. You have no idea.
All right. But, so there's been a lot of conversation regarding Monica lately. Mm-hmm. Are we, I assume we're getting close to her death.
Yes. Now I had thought that it was going to be way further down the line in the year.
Yeah.
But now I'm wondering, okay, so I have a little bit of a scoop. I don't know. Would you two stop it? These dogs have been playing, being mean to each other all day. Stop. Sorry. So there have been, so I told you guys that we're getting the nurses ball. And we tried to find out from the source on set when the nurses ball is going to be.
Yep.
And they couldn't tell us because apparently there are a lot of extensive rewrites going on with some things behind the scenes. So I'm wondering if at this point, that's all I know. I don't know if it's a change in total storylines or if they're rewriting things to do Monica's death sooner.
Yeah.
But there's very little air between writing and filming. And usually there's a lot of space between writing and filming. Usually things are written weeks to months before they film it. This stuff they're doing on the fly with a lot of it. So I'm not sure if that storyline changes or if it's that they're doing Monica's death sooner or what, but yeah, there's a lot of fun happening. And despite what a lot of people want to think, behind the scenes, the cast is very happy.
Oh, yeah.
They really are. They love that new things are going on. They love that, new situations are going on. They all absolutely adore Frank.
Yeah.
The idea that Frank is some sort of dictator is just laughable. They all absolutely adore him. And I mean, honestly, that because how many actors that leave GH trash talk Frank?
Yeah, all the time.
I'm saying very few do.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
I mean, Ingo did in his, but I mean, Ingo didn't even trash talk Frank. It was just the entire situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But people, Monica had made a few vague things, but that was just, was it Frank? Was it the network? I don't know. And then she never expanded on it.
And folks, I know I said I've been trying to get Kelly Monaco on the show. Haven't gotten any responses or any kind of nothing, like radio silence.
And I know there are people saying that she doesn't have another job. Because I had told you guys that she has another soap job lined up that she starts this month filming. She has another soap job that she starts this month filming. I stand by this. So we'll see whose information is right. But my source is still saying that this is true, even after the, other people who get legit information as well. But nobody gets 100% legit information.
No,
everybody gets wrong information sometimes. I had thought that, they weren't actually killing off Evan or killing off Dex.
Yeah.
But it was really just that they were, he was filming after for the other stuff. I'm still not 100% convinced we won't see him again, even though we did get that casting news today.
I didn't see the casting news.
Oh.
I mean, I saw that they did bring on a new person as Joss's WSB handler.
We meet him on Friday. His name is Vaughn. He's a young hottie. But the thing is that he's not on contract. He's only recurring.
Right.
So are they seeing what happens or what? And another thing that's interesting about this guy, he auditioned originally for Chase.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he was one of the last 3 contenders. It was him, Josh Schwickard, and somebody else, he said, and Josh got it. Him and Josh are actually friends. So that makes him a little bit older.
Yeah.
He's more, in his 30s. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we need guys in that age range. So he might not be for Joss.
Yeah.
But he might be. Who knows?
Right. And to be honest, you don't have to bring somebody on just as a love interest.
No.
It's going to end up being, it could just be a new cast member that they're going to chem test them with a bunch of people.
And they're expanding the WSB.
Yep.
Because the mob is pretty much going away.
Yeah.
And I've seen people complaining about that too, which I don't understand because it has been mob central and people have been bitching about that for decades.
People bitch about everything,
Yeah.
you know.
And now they're doing something else and they're not happy about that either. And I'm just like, what?
Yeah, and it's here's the thing. How many times have people said that Drew was boring? Well, now
Right.
Drew is quite, you know,
Not boring.
he's very energetic. He's a villain, you know, and now people are, oh, they got to kill him off. No,
Right. I'm like, no. And that's my
but
thing is I'm like, I love to hate Drew. And
yeah,
all of this, I mean, he's gonna get his at some point. I don't
yes,
know that they're gonna kill him off, but I mean, he's gonna get his. It's he's not gonna win in the end.
yeah,
So,
exactly,
and that's the ride. That's what we watch for.
yeah,
This
exactly,
isn't Sister Angelica's show. This isn't Hallmark.
right, yeah. It's you're right, and it's like, and I get that Cameron Matheson may be a little uncomfortable playing a villain because apparently he needed to be told that his character is a villain. Um,
Well, because his character hadn't been before. And he's not uncomfortable doing it because his character on All My Children pulled
oh,
pulled lots
oh,
of
really?
shit like this. Oh God, yeah. He was definitely he had his, full on himbo and cad moments. And we've talked about how his nickname was Snaps because, his shirt was always getting ripped open. So yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but I do want to ask. This came up on another podcast over the weekend.
Mhm.
Um, apparently, some of the not necessarily some of the rumors, but um, some of the possibilities people have been throwing out is that maybe Drew is really Shiloh in disguise.
I don't think that they'd go there. I mean, it's totally possible,
Mhm.
but then where's Drew? Are they going to bring on another Drew or is Scout just an orphan?
Right? Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
I'm not sure that they'd go there. I think it's more likely that if they're going to do anything, it's going to be the PTSD thing.
I agree, and
Because
I
they
would go in
brought
that direction as well.
yeah. So yeah, I think that it's going to be the PTSD thing if they do anything. I don't
Right.
think they're gonna really make him Shiloh, although, I mean, it would be really interesting,
Yeah.
the Willow
It's,
angle of it, but
oh
I
yeah.
don't think so. I think he's just Drew. I don't think he's Shiloh.
Yeah. I mean, and Quiet Star, nobody's ever really dead. I don't think they
True.
ever found Shiloh's
They
body.
actually did find Shiloh's body, and Sam went to jail for killing him.
Well, I remember that. I remember Sam going to jail.
Yeah, no, I'm
Um,
pretty sure they had Shiloh's body. Yeah. And Nell
but
was his widow.
right. Yeah. I
So, yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
So I mean, who knows? I mean, either way, I'm here for the stories. I'm here
Oh,
for the
me too.
ride.
Absolutely.
And the thing is the Drew and Willow story right now is it's entertaining because you love to hate them. You love to say how stupid Willow is
Yeah.
for going along with all of this. And
Yeah.
it's like she's consistently going back on her own words. Like she wanted to stay at
Mhm.
stay at Nina's because she didn't want to be in the gatehouse and she thought it was too early to move in with Drew. But
And
now
then
she's
2
going
days
to move in with
later, she's
Drew.
moving in with Drew. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well, she's got Carly to deal with on that one.
yes. Oh yeah. No, it's a very entertaining story. I don't care what people say. You've been clamoring for an entertaining Willow. You've been clamoring for an entertaining Drew. You have them together in probably the most hated couple on soaps right now, at least from what I see. I don't know. Bill and Haley from Beyond the Gates may be up there, but
We're just not as invested with them yet.
exactly. But Willow and Drew is probably up there with the most hated couples on soaps right now, and they're entertaining to watch, to root against.
It's soapy.
Yeah, it is. And Drew this week almost, I have to say, put the nail in his own coffin when he lied to Anna and the DA about being Jason's alibi.
Yeah.
I mean, did we really think he was going to say that Jason was there? No, of course not. But, you know, as a congressman and upstanding citizen, you know, he put his own personal vendettas ahead of the truth.
And he said he was willing to sign an affidavit. He didn't end up doing it, but he said he would. Yeah. Which is, you know, so I agree, and I like it. And I thought Carly was funny when she was like, why would he, if he was going to lie about an alibi, why would he choose Drew, who hates him?
Yeah, exactly.
And then there's Willow. Well, why don't you just be his alibi? And Carly's just like, you are too stupid to live. That's not how it works.
Right.
And Carly would absolutely lie and say that she was Jason's alibi, without a doubt. But he had already told the police that he was with Drew.
Right, exactly. So we can't turn it around now and say, oh, no, I was with Carly instead. Because physically, I don't think they look alike. So, no. Quiet Star, I was not shocked that he lied to the cops. But I still say that, he made an enemy for life out of Jason right now. If he didn't beforehand.
Oh yeah, Jason's just gonna
I want to see another.
He's all wrapped up in Mrs. Wu.
Yes.
He's gonna be like, "Wow, that sucks, huh?"
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna, it's like, and Drew is kind of going off the rails on all of the things he's doing because he's realizing that now his actions have consequences. And he doesn't like that. He's going to Miss Wu, to get the dirt on Portia, to force Curtis's hand.
Right.
He's signing up with Sidwell to get Sonny off of the docks so that they can move the Esplanade. To put Sonny out of business. So he's really creating a very bad reputation from the people that keep Port Charles safe. And I'm not talking about the cops.
Right.
Because the cops can't do anything.
Yeah.
But
you do need to, Anya.
Yeah, Anya, you definitely have to catch up.
Yeah. Yep.
He is definitely getting to the unhinged point. Absolutely.
Which is why I think it's more likely that they go with the PTSD story. But we'll see.
Yeah. No, exactly.
No.
We'll see. We'll see where it goes. All right. So let's move on a little bit to. All right. I gotta ask, why so much hate for Kai?
Because they only want Trina with Spencer.
Is that it, really?
That's it. End of list. They only want Trina with Spencer.
I was blocked by a Sprina fan today because somebody online was, complaining because Joss has this great storyline with WSB and Trina doesn't have anything. And, why didn't they put Trina in the WSB or whatever? And it's like, Joss is a generational character. Trina is not.
Well, it's not even that. It's not even that. It made more sense. What sense did it make to put, how did they get to Trina in the WSB?
Right.
How would they get there?
Yeah.
And not only that, I've also seen people complaining that it should be Emma and not Joss. Here's my thing. Yes, Emma's grandparents, Robert and Anna, WSB agents. However, they weren't a huge factor in Emma's upbringing.
No,
her parents are both doctors, and she was raised with her parents, with occasional visits with her grandparents.
Yeah.
So her grandparents being WSB has very little bearing.
Yeah.
Joss was at least raised around the mob.
Right. Yeah.
And, it was her guy who was killed. And again, this all goes back to the hate of Carly and Carly adjacent people. It really does, because no matter what story Joss gets, they hate it.
Yeah, of course.
No matter what. And I mean, I love the character of Trina, but she was brought in as a sidekick to Joss.
As a friend.
And that's all she was for a very long time.
Yeah. And James Lott Jr. pointed out she was never meant to be a full-fledged character.
No.
She was meant to be the best friend, the sidekick, whatever.
And they had one time, I mean, she wasn't even on contract. She was just a recurring character. And I love her, and I'm glad that, she is. But they can't say she has no story. She does have a story. They might not like the story she has, but she has a story with this new guy.
Yes. And I like the character of Kai. He's growing on me. I'm liking the layers to him. I'm liking the not hostility, but the tension between him and Quinn, and just that whole dynamic.
And I love the difference between him and Spencer is that he has Trina's back.
Yes.
100%. Spencer threw that girl under the bus so many times, even after he was supposedly in love with her.
Right.
Kai, barely knows her, but likes her. Yep. And as soon as she expresses uncomfortableness around Cyrus, he wants to he's trying to throw him out of the bar so she doesn't have to be around him.
Yeah.
And he's not being obnoxious about it or red flaggy like they used to say with Flynn or Finn. You know what I mean? He is really about that girl.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't try to get her to not do her homework like Spencer used to, or belittle her. Commitment to school.
Kai has actually grown as a person,
right?
By being with Trina,
right?
Because he has a genuine interest in her. She helped him see the idea that the easy A isn't the isn't the way to go for the class, and actually put work into it.
Right.
And now he's getting an interest in art and everything. So So something.
So I see this comment, and I don't disagree with you, but the thing about soaps, the fact of the matter is most of the storylines go around a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have a storyline outside of her. His story, he's like the new guy. He's the newcomer. Yeah. He was cast for her.
Right.
And they are getting more of a storyline. There's going to be more of a storyline, and from what it sounds like, she's going to be saving him from something. So, but they don't do strong, independent women for long. They just don't. Just like they don't do, confirmed bachelors. That's just not the nature of soaps.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So, I mean, I would love to see a Trina storyline, but again, like, what could you actually do with the character that doesn't involve a relationship of some sort? She's going to art school, or she wants to go into the arts. How can that really be,
and the thing is like, I mean, they're doing this storyline with the WSB with Josh. She's out on an assignment.
Yeah.
And she's off screen.
Right.
We haven't seen her. And we're not going to see her probably until we see her with this new guy.
Right.
That's the part they're showing.
Yeah.
And her whole thing with Cyrus was about avenging Dex.
Yeah.
So,
and honestly, it's a lot of the big problem is Trina didn't get to mourn Spencer, or they didn't show it on screen or whatever.
They
but
showed it on screen as much as they do for anyone.
right.
Liz's husband died, and
Yeah.
she didn't get as many scenes talking about her dead husband as Trina got about Spencer. I'm not saying they did a lot. I'm saying they just don't do much.
Right.
That's just that's not the story they're telling.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, it's just the only reason Carly got to talk about Sonny as much was because he wasn't really dead.
Right.
And he was an integral part of the other stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Or,
No,
she
exactly.
wouldn't even really been talking, that's just how that goes.
Yeah.
I mean, when does, Liz hardly ever mentions Franco now.
Right. Except for her last name being Baldwin now.
Right.
Um,
And it was just,
I mean, we did get to see, um, you know, we did get to see the major big kiss for um, Lucky and
yes.
Liz in a hospital bed. You
Yes. And
know,
it was very sweet.
yeah,
And, that was really well done.
it was.
And all of the, complainers had to move on to something else to complain about.
Of course they did. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
you wouldn't believe the next things they were bitching about. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be something because they're Hammer's looking for a nail, as he
yeah.
says, as Daddy Frank says.
I want to thank the 120 people that are currently tuned in across all destinations. Thank you so much for tuning in. And go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, get notified. If you want to go to our actual YouTube page, it's youtube.com/@suds-media if that's not where you're watching. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell because you'll get to see everything that comes on our network, whether it's Suds or Squirt Circle based. Also, do want to go ahead and, again, promote that in April, Angela and I are going to meet Laura Wright as well as Finola Hughes and James Patrick Stewart in Stamford, Connecticut. And we are going ahead and presenting Laura Wright with this beautiful thing right here. And it is a Lifetime Achievement Championship belt. And I'm sorry that sometimes it gets, there we go.
Yep.
So the belt is in my hands right now. We are going to be giving it to her. And if you would like to help offset the cost for it, you can go ahead, buymeacoffee.com/Suds Media. Go ahead and donate. And if you do donate, your name will go into the appreciation card we're going to give her with the belt as well. So again, that's buymeacoffee.com/Suds Media. And anything that you donate will go to offset the cost of that belt. And also show your appreciation for Laura Wright. So again, that's buymeacoffee.com/Suds Media. Also, go ahead and check out our Patreon page, patreon.com/Suds and Squared Circle. We are putting, I did go ahead and upload all of season 1 of Suds News/Suds and the Squared Circle up into the archives. So those are up there. Dockside at the Bay, Take Me Down to Studio City, Angela Answers Fan Mail are all on there as well. So I'm going to try to get some more content up there as always. Only $5 a month. Go ahead and sign up. Again, all this, and trust me, folks, I don't like being somebody to shill for money or ask for money or whatever, but it does go to offset costs associated with providing awesome content for you, whether it's the Zoom, the StreamYard, although I don't pay for the StreamYard, but for the Zooms, for the YouTube TVs, for the streaming, well, there's
That
so
stuff
much.
adds up.
What was that?
The stuff adds up.
It really does. Angela Answers Fan Mail is on Patreon. Yes, it is. And Patreon gets all of our pre-recorded content early and ad-free. So as soon as we get done recording Dockside at the Bay or Angela Answers Fan Mail or Take Me Down to Studio City, it automatically goes to Patreon. So again, patreon.com/Suds and Squared Circle. And we'll get some more stuff up there as well, because there's a lot of stuff coming down the pike for not only the Suds part, but also the Squared Circle part. And yes, Quiet Start, I agree. Love the hospital kiss with Lucky and Liz. I thought it was much better than the one that was in the kitchen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
With Guy Wilson being a stand-in for Jonathan Jackson.
Yeah. I just thought it was just really great how she just went and ran over to him and grabbed his face and just planted one on him because she was so happy he was awake.
Of course. Absolutely. Yeah. So I am enjoying the Lucky and Liz dynamic. And
I say that as somebody who hates Liz.
Right. I know.
They are. They're cute. They're adorable. It's, and they're coming back together after all this time it's a nice soapy story. It's a, full circle kind of thing. And this is what we want for our, this is what endgame couples do.
Exactly.
Nobody stays together forever, but they end up together.
Yes. Exactly.
So at the end of the day, this is who they end up. Yes, Steve, there are a lot of people I don't hate. None come to mind. Just kidding. I love Carly. Yeah. I love Tracy. I love Joss most of the time.
No, it says you do not hate anyone.
No, he says, do you not hate anyone?
Oh, do you not? Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that. Okay.
Yeah, no. I've hated Liz since day one because I was a Lucky and Emily shipper. I wanted Lucky and Emily, and she came and blew that all to hell. And it's not her fault. It's the writers, whatever. I don't care. And then, Sunny, I've just hated ever since November 1999. I used to like Sunny, but as I've grown up and matured, I can't stand the character.
Mm-hmm.
And I've hated, Carly's my favorite character, and I've hated how he's treated her and how much she's had to put up with. So, but I mean, I love and like a lot of the show.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, you're exactly right. I agree with you completely.
Oh, I know you're teasing, Steve. It's all good. I don't care. I will shout my Sunny hate from the hills are alive with my hatred of Sunny. That's what I'm saying. So.
Also, I do want to go ahead and throw this up here at 10 p.m. Eastern. So right after we get done with this episode, the premiere of Gate Crashers, and we're going to be talking. It'll be me, Kim, and Angela, and we're going to be talking about Beyond the Gates. That comes up at 10 p.m. Eastern, right after this show, right here on many of these same networks that you're watching. Some different ones, actually. If you're watching on Chairshot Sports or the Run-In, or Chairshot Sports or the Run-In or the Lowdown, you will not be getting Gate Crash. You'll be getting Raw Rewind at about 10:30. So we will be having other social media.
Wow. We need to have a little streaming guide, like the old TV guide.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
You get this. On this channel, you get that. Yeah.
Yep, exactly. We're going to have our own network pretty soon. Well, I mean, we do have it, but we will have. We'll have to get stuff up. So, Donna, it's no big deal that you're late, because you can always watch it later on demand.
And we're here, baby.
Yes.
Yeah, Jeannie. The thing, I mean, I always loved The Mob just because that's, it's a storyline I love, but it was too much. It was all mob. And I like now, we're getting a mix. We got the WSB, we got stuff happening at the hospital. We've got, the Aurora stuff, the mayor, there's all kinds of things. And they weave in and out of each other, which is what these towns are supposed to do. It's all people in this same semi-small town.
Yes.
So their lives are supposed to intersect like that. And it's not all mob all the time, which I love.
Yeah.
So.
All right, let's move on. Before we move on, actually, we should probably go back, and we're gonna get ready to go to Professor Angela for this day in General Hospital history.
We're sending you back to the future.
So we are going to go to today in General Hospital history. Professor Angela, what do you have for us?
All right. So going back to February 25th, because where we left off was February 24th last week. February 25th, 1981. Jeff got confirmation that baby PJ was really his son, Stephen Lars, and was thrilled. February 25th, 1992, Tristan Rogers appeared for the last time as Robert Scorpio until he came back regular. He did a couple guest appearance, a guest appearance in the middle 90s, but then came back in 2006. Oh, thank you, Anya. And we love all about you, everything about you. All right. February 25th, 2015. Ava was revealed to be alive after being presumed dead when Carlos shot her and she went over the side of the bridge. These darn bridges, none of them doing their job, although I love Ava. All right. February 26th, 1979. Audrey told Jeff that Steve Hardy was his biological father. Steve was dying at the time, but, it all worked out. 1988, Tom and Simone got married, which I believe was the first interracial marriage on General Hospital.
I don't even know those characters.
Oh, and in 2007, Alan Quartermain died.
Yeah.
Devastating the Quartermain family.
But then he came back to life, didn't he?
Nope.
2007?
Alan, not AJ, Alan, the dad.
No, I know that. I thought
Alan never came back to life. He was a ghost a couple times, but he did not.
I thought he ended up passing away in like 2012 or something.
I think the actor passed away in 2012 in real life.
Because he died during like one of those
the Metro Court crisis. Yeah, he had the heart attack during the Metro Court hostage crisis. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Jeannie, I started honestly religiously. I started watching GH probably around 2011, 2012. I watched it here and there up until then. Watched it with my mother when I was younger. But honestly, I've been religiously watching it since about 2011. So it's been, close to 15 years for me. But yeah.
Okay. February 27th. The antidote is finally administered to everybody suffering from the monkey virus. And that crisis was coming to an end. In 2012, Baby Hope and Cole died in the car accident when Johnny shot out their tires while trying to kill his crazy grandfather, Anthony.
Yep.
And the car was on fire, and Michael could only get Star out before it exploded.
Yep. And that led to a lot of blowback from Prospect Park and ABC for killing off the characters of Cole and Hope.
Yes, they were very not happy. In 2020, on February 27th, TJ proposed to Molly. And she turned him down because she didn't want to get married.
Yep.
So, in February 28th, 1985, Frisco and Felicia made love for the very first time. One of the mid-'80s super couples who nobody would want back together now because she's just perfect with Mac.
Yep.
In 1990, on February 28th, Anna learned that Duke's death had been faked. And in 2017, Emily Scout Quartermain, or Morgan at the time, was born.
Yep.
And now she's Emily Scout. Well, now she's Emily Scout Quartermain, but she became Emily Scout Kane.
Yep.
And now she's Quartermain.
Yeah.
Yes. March 1st, 1994. Laura told Luke she was pregnant with their second child, which turned out to be little Leslie Lou.
Mm-hmm.
Jeannie Francis was pregnant in real life with her first child. And
so they just wrote it in.
With her son, with Jonathan Franks. And they He was born the same month that Leslie Liu was on screen. Yeah.
Okay.
2006, Tony's loved ones gathered to say goodbye because he was dying from the monkey virus. He wasn't getting the antidote. And on March 1st in 2023, Nicholas, played by Adam Huss, was revealed to be alive and in a coma and under the control of Mason Gatlin Holt or whatever.
Yeah.
We all thought that Ava had murdered him.
Right.
March 2nd, 2006, Nicholas made a massive scene at Courtney's funeral, calling out Sonny and Jason and Jax and everyone for how badly they had treated her.
Okay, so I that was part of the time that I was watching, because I do remember that was also when she revealed that Spencer was Nicholas's son instead of Jax's.
Right, but Jax hid that because he was the only one who knew. Yeah.
Yep.
Same day in 2006, Skye was surprised to find out she was pregnant with Lorenzo's baby.
I miss Skye.
And in 2012, Tracy told Edward that Robin had died in the lab explosion. Sadly, she wasn't really dead. Then I'll answer your question 1 second. Let me just get to today in General Hospital history, March 3rd, 1981. Jeff and Steve saw PJ for the first time after learning he was really Steve's son, or Jeff's son, Stephen Lars. In 2003, Carly and Sonny thought that she might be pregnant, and Carly was worried that the baby could be Rick's after he made her think that he had raped her and she had not told Sonny. And in 2006, Sonia Eddy premiered as Epiphany. And we had her on a recurring basis until we lost her in 2022.
Yeah, which is still a shame.
So that was your little taste of General Hospital history.
Yep. Thank you, Professor Angela.
You're welcome.
And now Anna, person. There we go. And then Anna had asked,
okay, so
murdered.
She murdered Connie and framed AJ for it. Sonny murdered AJ, but she framed AJ and then pretended that he was attacking her to get Sonny to shoot him. And then, I mean, who else did she? I'm sure there's more.
Honestly, I'm not sure.
Hold on. She thought she had killed Nicholas, but apparently not. And Austin.
And Christina still blames Ava for killing their baby.
But she didn't.
No, it was a complete accident.
It was absolutely an accident, and more Christina's fault than Ava's, in my opinion.
Correct.
You know, because her butt shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, she helped Morgan die.
Yes, she was responsible for Morgan's death because, well, she wasn't the only one, but she had changed Morgan's meds to placebos, and he had a manic episode, and he stole Julian's car, and Olivia had planted a bomb in it trying to kill her brother. Although that was a rewrite because originally Sonny had planted that bomb.
Yes, I remember that.
But then Mo was not happy about the backlash towards Sonny for killing his son. So they rewrote that. So
did y'all know that Felicia Minnie Bear just died? I don't know who that is. I'm not sure who that is.
I know the name, but I can't.
I've never heard the name, so I can't comment.
I've heard the name. Who is she, Donna? I can't think of it.
We've lost a number of people over the past week. We lost Hackman, who there's a lot of controversy surrounding his death at this point. We lost a couple of famous singers. Angie Stone.
Roberta Flack.
So yeah, we've lost a number of celebrities over the past week. Head of ABC Daytime, producer.
Okay, that's how I know the name. All right. Yeah.
So, yeah. So I did not know. I don't know the name. So, but
yeah.
Yeah. So there's been a lot.
Oh yeah. So according to the history, the only one she has actually killed was Connie, and then her part that she played in Morgan's death, and she, and AJ's death.
Yeah.
And then she, yeah, tried to frame Nina for Silas's murder.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love her, but she's just so naughty.
Who was it that murdered Cyrus? I can't remember now. Was that Olivia too?
Possibly.
Or Heather? Might have been Heather. If I'm not mistaken. Let's see. So, welcome to the chat. Amber loves Alexa Bliss. So I'm assuming you're. I was actually hoping Alexa Bliss won the Elimination Chamber on Saturday, but no, unfortunately, she's not. But yeah, so we're gonna while Angela is looking up that information about who killed Silas. I honestly can't remember.
Yeah, I'm looking it up just because we were wondering.
Yeah. We did get to see a little bit of Drew and Curtis kind of squaring off a little bit over the not only the Esplanade, but Drew is going to be on one of the committees in Washington, and then Curtis got Stella to talk to her friend in Washington from from Baltimore or whatever it was. And the congressman kind of put the stop to Drew getting on that committee.
That was one of my funny lines of the day that I liked, when Curtis said, "Yeah, my Aunt Stella has a lot of friends. Do you ever wonder what that's like, Drew?"
Yeah, that was funny. I enjoyed that. I did. I enjoyed that. I really feel like Drew is cruising for a breakdown.
Something. Don't say things like that, Donna. No, he's not. Do not insult Clark Gable as that way. Good Lord, Donna, you're killing me. What else was really good this week? I still want to know if Nina found anything in that safe.
Yeah, I'm so.
They never told us. But tomorrow, she's with Carly and Willow, so I'm hoping that maybe her and Carly will have a chance to chat, and maybe she'll mention it, but I don't know.
Yeah, because Nina kind of surprised Drew when she showed up with Willow to his new house.
Yep.
While Maxie was doing all the interior design for it. Ava pushed Esme off Windermere, but Esme didn't die at that point.
Didn't die.
I'm not sure who won February sweeps, Donna. I mean, the shows that I can't speak for anything other than GH, but GH was awesome for the month of February, but it's been awesome for quite a bit now. Right. So I don't think Drew's days are numbered. I think maybe he's going to go for a mental breakdown and a PTSD. I think it's going to be like a PTSD storyline. I don't think they're going to end up killing him off. I think it's going to be more of a mental issue rather than physical death.
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to kill him off with Monica dying soon. You know what I mean? That would be
in poor taste. Give Monica the send off she deserves without any other deaths to worry about. All right.
Nina's mother.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
Never
right.
mind. Killed
Madeline, Madeline.
Silas. Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
There it is.
That makes sense. Yep.
Oh, she got it the same. Coretta got it the same time I did. That's really funny. I looked up and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah.
All right. So, how did you like Sonny and Laura talking? When Sonny, when they kind of gathered, it was Sonny and Laura and Jordan and Anna, and they were, I think, yeah, Anna was there. They were talking about how Sidwell wanted to take over the piers for the Esplanade, and Drew is going to utilize eminent domain to take over that stuff.
And my thing about that is that, yeah, okay, great, it would screw Sonny over.
Yeah.
But screwing over the local mob boss wouldn't be bad for the city.
Right.
And I mean, Laura stays being Laura. She's, a hypocrite. She's always been a hypocrite.
Yeah.
She's always been morally superior with no justification for it.
Yeah. You're right.
Same with Anna. Yeah.
So yeah, it's I don't know. I still say that with the WSB being reactivated in Port Charles and kind of growing, the PCPD better step things up because they can't do anything. Like, why was it? Well, all right. So here's the deal. Why was Anna waiting for, more information and more evidence about Cyrus doing the killings when Elizabeth literally did her work for her and got all this information?
Well, that's when they went looking for Cyrus, but it was too late. He was already dead.
Right.
He was waiting for a warrant.
Right.
They needed a warrant, remember? Because she had Jason and they got the call that the warrant was delayed, yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, no, that she wasn't waiting on. My thing is her arresting people for their own good bullshit.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm just like, that's not what you're supposed to do.
All right. So somebody did point it out that why is everybody just jumping to the conclusion that Cyrus is dead? The cabin was spotless. There was no body.
Well, I think it's because the cabin was so spotless.
Yeah, and because of the threat that Jason made that nobody will ever find your body.
Right.
It's like, instead of saying, oh, well, he maybe moved or whatever. But you're right, because it was so spotless and they only found the two strands of hair. Yeah.
And the thing is that he can't just move because they brought up that he is on parole and he has a parole officer.
Right.
So it would have been him taking off with, and I mean, he tried to kill Lucky, so it could make sense that he took off, but he doesn't really have the means to disappear without a trace.
Right. Yep.
And people need to remember, I mean, yes, I know they don't have Cyrus's body. They only have 2 of Jason's hairs, which ironically could also be Drew's hairs.
Right. Yeah.
Because Jason and Drew are identical twins.
Yes, they are.
And while Jason is Drew's alibi, or Drew is Jason's alibi, Jason is also Drew's. Correct. So that's would be an interesting twist.
Yeah.
For
I want to see Diane bring that up though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she got him out because there wasn't enough evidence. But it's the thing is that people also have to remember, the GH has done this before.
Yeah.
Jason was actually on trial for murdering Lorenzo, and there was no bond.
Yeah.
And then,
because of his reputation.
Carly manufactured evidence that said that Lorenzo was still alive, and that's how Jason got off on those charges. For those who think that Carly never does anything for Jason except, get him off of murder charges.
How did she manufacture the evidence?
She made a deal with Jerry, Jax's brother, who wanted to be friends with her because he wanted an in with his brother. And she didn't want anything to do with him because he was a terrorist. So she made a deal with Jerry that she would not, that she would try to be friendly with him and have a family relationship with Jax's sake. And he would go to South America with her, where Lorenzo's business was based. And they would be able, he'd help her falsify the banking records to show that his bank accounts were active, and Jerry hired somebody who resembled Lorenzo a little bit to be photographed leaving the bank.
Okay.
Yes, Jason was very mad that she worked with Jerry, but hello.
Of course,
you're on trial for murder.
Well, I mean, it's funny because Jason gets apprehensive about her being helped by anybody but him.
Yes.
Like, she's getting
him working with Franco to save her was just fine.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think it's very interesting how they've had them, because they're in the same storyline, but they haven't had them talk. I mean, they had a really great, and I know this is my Charlie fangirlness, but they had, I thought, one of the best moments at the PCPD when he was sitting in the interrogation room and she looked at him through the window and he looked up and he just kind of gave her the little nod, the little reassuring nod, and she nodded back. And we got each other kind of thing. Oh, yeah. And I love that she ran down there, and that's how Jack got rid of her. Yeah. Just told her, and she ran, was like, we can wait with our talk. I got to go take care of my man.
Right.
And I love that. And him promising her that he was okay. Yep. And her jumping on Drew's case. And, I absolutely love her in defense of him like that. But I also think it's interesting because, they've had her a couple of people talk to her about the whole Sasha baby thing.
Yes.
But her and Jason haven't talked. And she's like, he'll talk to me about it when he...
And that's eating her inside.
It is. But what's really interesting is that he lied to Sonny about it.
Yeah.
He flat out lied to Sonny.
Right.
But he hasn't lied to Carly because he hasn't talked to her about it.
Correct.
Which makes it seem like he's trying to avoid her.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
He doesn't have to lie to her.
Because that way he doesn't have to lie to her.
Yep.
Because one, he has a hard time lying to her anyway, because sometimes she knows, just like he knows when she's lying to him. But, they've been through this with the Sam thing. Now, I think what's going to complicate things is tomorrow she's going to flip out on Willow.
Yep.
About the Drew thing. And then there's one of the previews for Friday is Carly makes a big decision. And I'm wondering if she's going to try to sue Willow for custody. Because that will make Sasha more apprehensive about Carly knowing.
Right.
Which will put Jason in a difficult position too.
Yes.
But
I am really glad that they made the decision to tell Danny the truth.
Yes.
But I really think that might come back to bite them in the ass, because
I think Tracy knows. I think Tracy knows, or she's going to figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. And she'll keep her mouth shut because she wants, she's kind of on Michael's side to get custody of the kids.
I'm not 100% sure that Carly won't figure it out if she sits there and actually thinks about it.
Agreed.
Because she was the one who Michael asked to get Sasha.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? And she knows their past relationship, and she knows that Jason knows their past relationship.
Yeah.
And I still say I don't think they're going to do romance with Jason and Sasha.
No.
Again, today he was advocating for Michael's rights as a father.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think they're going to do any kind of romance between them.
I think that it's going to be Michael and Sasha when Michael comes back. And this is just kind of a placeholder with Jason. And I know that they had an article on Soap Opera Digest last week where the head writers were talking about 3 pairings on the show and what's ahead. And it was Jason and Sasha, Kai and Trina, and Liz and Lucky.
Yeah.
And the Jason and Sasha one didn't say anything about there being a romance or them being together. It was like, well, could feelings develop? Like they were asked or whatever. And they said that, their situation leads to unanticipated complications.
Yeah. That's it.
But
There's
that's,
nothing
you know
there
what I
about
mean?
romance.
That's exactly. And we already know he's going to have a problem with Carly and Jack.
Yeah.
And now Jack's, framing him for murder, which I also
Yeah.
think Jack's going to end up trying to blackmail him into working for him.
Of course. Yeah.
Plus Joss. And I mean, Jack and Carly are on borrowed time at this point. Eventually, she's going to find out and she's going to be done with him.
Oh, yeah. It's not going to last. And I think it's just simply because of the, because of the actor change.
Right.
And it's like, I really liked Charles Measure.
Mm-hmm.
Chris McKenna in this role now feels more villainous. Like
Absolutely.
He feels more dark.
Right. And I found it interesting too, because they put Charles Measure on contract when they decided to put him in the pairing with Carly.
Yeah.
Chris McKenna is recurring.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that's one of the rewrite things that are going on. You know what I mean? That, because, and I don't know if anybody noticed today, but with all the talk about how Val's never going to come back to Port Charles.
Yeah.
Valentin's going to come back to Port Charles. I mean, it's going to be Sonny's house still, but
right.
It's all but assured when somebody says something's never going to happen.
And okay, so bring me to, so we saw that Lucy is showing Sonny Valentine's house.
Mm-hmm.
And Spinelli and Lulu were there.
Yeah.
So my thing is, why is, like, I don't get Lulu's logic for this, saying, oh, I have to go to the last place she lived because maybe they left something behind. Well, the house has been empty for months now because they moved out. I would think that anything that was left behind is gone.
True, but it's also furnished still. So there could
Okay.
be something in couch cushions. There could be something under mattresses. And, this is also, she's desperate to find anything. And she just doesn't have a lot of places to look.
Right. And,
but now
she knows Martin knows or could get in touch with Valentine.
Right. And now we know how. Did you see the promo?
Yes.
So now we know how it is. Because I was wondering, I'm like, how the hell is she going to come across that notepad? Yeah. And now we know it's because she was looking through his stuff, trying to find information about where Valentin and Charlotte are.
Yeah. And Quiet Star, I do remember when Ted King was on One Life to Live, he was Taya's brother. And when they had that scene where, Taya was in Landview and Carly, Sky, and Blair all show up there looking for him, and they all thought he was different people.
They're like,
it was Lorenzo and Tomas and I really wish they could have they ran with that. That would have been so good if Ted King had signed on at that point.
I would accept any rationalization they gave me for why Lorenzo Alcazar is alive. Any whatsoever. He walks into town. They could tell me that he has been hiding out in the Pine Barrens for the past how many years it is, and I'd go, okay, yeah, absolutely.
And even if they brought him on as Tomas Delgado, like, and the fact, he's been in witness protection or he's working for the WSB or anything like that to bring Ted King back on would be fantastic. Because he's a tremendous actor. I mean, granted, I think he's under contract to Bold at this point.
He's not under contract. He's on recurring, but his issues with GH are Mo, basically.
seems to be the
He's been
the
very
popular
honest and
decision.
vocal about it. Mo has been very honest about what a douche he was to him. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah,
He's
and
not the only actor who has said, "I will never work with that man again."
and and the rumor mills were going crazy not too long ago because I guess he showed up. He was at Prospect Park, I guess, just having lunch with some of the,
Well,
people
he
there.
did a Bold event, and at the Bold event, he told them that he was having lunch with Frank
Oh,
like
okay.
a week later. He was
Yep.
like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be having lunch with Frank." So that made it all, you know.
Yeah,
And you
because
never
we all
know. I
thought that
wouldn't be
Alcazar
surprised.
could have been the head of Pikeman.
That's what I thought would have been wonderful. And it would have made sense,
Yeah,
especially because it was like a South American country, and Alcazar's thing were all South. I mean, it was set up to be that. So I'm wondering if maybe they just couldn't work out a deal with him or whatever.
yeah. Could have
So they
been.
went another way, but then there was also the writer's strike and the actor's strike, So I mean, there were a lot of things in play at that time
Yeah,
that so
a lot of that was just snake bit.
mhm.
So
Ted King and Kristen Alfonso would have been a whole lot of pretty on you. That would have
have
been a
they ever
whole lot
worked
of pretty.
together?
I think they haven't, but she was saying that they were a
Oh,
dream
okay.
pairing of hers. I mean, I thought him and Laura Wright, especially because they had been together, they had stuff on the city together, and Brendan is a bad guy, but they might not have to get rid of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They could still
Yep.
keep him as the head of the WSB in Port Charles. It's just him and Carly aren't together.
I think Quiet Stars watching is a little delayed on her on their feed
Oh,
because
probably.
just based on what
Yeah.
based on the comments, I think it's a little
Well,
behind.
she might be doing 9 million other things as well.
Yeah, makes sense.
I know her. That's if I know her, she's watching Drillo clips.
We do that a lot. We tend to do that a lot.
Yes.
But yeah. All right. So let's kind of get back into it a little bit more. Um, the Geo situation is coming to a head.
Yeah.
Because Geo is starting to question his parentage now, saying, or not necessarily question it, but just make it known that he didn't know his father
Because his father
died,
died, and
and
yeah.
then his mother died when she was very young, and he's been raised. And I want here's my thing. There, even on 10th floor yesterday, they said that they made mention that they think Sonny may have known. But Sonny didn't know about Dante.
Well, here's the thing. Sonny and Lois were friends.
Well,
It's
yeah.
possible that Sonny knew that Brooklyn had a baby.
Right. That Gio's
Sonny
Brooklyn.
does not know that baby is Dante's.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Sonny does not know.
Yeah.
And I don't even know that he knows any of it, but he definitely doesn't know that baby's Dante's because he didn't know Dante was his son.
Right.
And it would have been something that came up.
And Sonny has always been philanthropic to, the kids from the neighborhood to help them get ahead, especially if they didn't have parents or whatever. So
exactly,
I can see, and I can agree that he may have known that Brooklyn had a child. But in terms of
I'm not even 100% sure about that, but it's possible that he knew that much and he helped with the kid after the kid, you know what I mean? But it's also possible that he didn't,
right?
Because he would be having a much bigger interest in Gio than he is if he knew that kid was his grandkid.
Absolutely, I agree.
He really would, and I don't know why he would keep it from Dante.
Right
at this point,
exactly. I really did like Gio and Dante having lunch together or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, it was really funny. Yeah, it was really how they're doing, and Tracy telling him that he wasn't a Quartermain, and just all kinds of anvils. Just now we know that Lulu is finding out that Brooklyn had Dante's child. Is she finding out that it's Gio? I don't know if that's on that little sheet of paper or not. Lois told Martin, but did he write that part down?
Right. Yeah.
We don't know because, so it might not all come out. It
Right.
might, you know what I mean? Or it might all come out, but it might not. It might, trickle out a little bit here, a little bit there, and
I like the trickle out idea
me
because
too.
that obviously it's more story, but
Mhm.
it's also because of the idea that it's long term storytelling. It's just
Exactly.
it's going to be extra soapy.
Mhm. Yep,
I
absolutely.
like it.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the ride, and I know
Mhm.
that Geo has been kind of just a placeholder for the past year. But again, you mentioned it: the writer strike, the director strike. Just the problem in the writers' room in general for
The
GH.
changes that they've had,
Yeah,
having to write the story of writing chemo out. I mean, there's been so many things that had to take precedence. I mean, Trina didn't have a story, Joss didn't have nobody had, none of the younger set had a story during that time. Really?
exactly.
So it wasn't just him. They had
Yeah,
planned things for him, but that, things got changed and paused and
I like him and Emma together. I like
yes.
them as a couple. I think
Yeah, I
that's
like that he, tempers her down and
yeah.
yeah,
I
Anya, I
think
think GH is stabilizing now as well. Although, as we were talking about earlier, they're doing some extreme rewrites right now behind the
yeah.
scenes. And we don't know exactly if it's major changes to stories or if it's about Monica's death or what it's about, but there's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, one thing, the 193 people that are currently watching right now, on whatever destination, platform that you're watching on, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, and put on the notification bells. If you're not watching on our exclusive YouTube, youtube.com/@suds-media, go ahead and subscribe, and go ahead and hit that notification bell as well, and
Mhm.
react, comment, whatever. It helps with the algorithm, helps to get us out there even further. And again, we're going to be here back in about a half hour or so with the debut of Gate Crashers, that are going to be there for um, we're going to be talking about Beyond the Gates, and Kim will be joining us.
Mhm.
So yeah, so there's just a lot of stuff that's up, you know, that's going on, I should say. Um,
Yes.
so yeah, you can tell that Quiet Star's a little behind. So, um, so let's thank you, Anya. Yes, it was a toss up between either Gate Crashers or Inside the Gates or Behind the Gates or something like that, but Gate Crashers works.
Yes.
Um, so, um, anyways, all right. So let's move on a little bit, uh,
Mhm.
and talk about what Steve just brought up. Brad and Lucas, they're now in Miami.
Yep.
They've been attending their conference. They've been, talking about, drinking by the pool, on the beach, and what have you. So, yeah, we're going to have a good time.
Yeah,
They
they jumped into that real quick.
That is true. Yes, they did. They started to make out and headed upstairs. They're starting to get up. We got some love in the afternoon, folks. Um, but then Brad stopped it and said, "You need to know the
Mhm.
whole truth." Um,
Yeah.
and Steve, I'm not sure if he's going to come clean, but I assume he will because now Drew knows that Portia, changed Heather's
Yeah.
numbers on the test. So um, I have a feeling Brad's going to come clean as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he did come clean. And my thing too, we were talking about this earlier in our Zoom. I think because we were, Brad was going on and on and on about how good Lucas is.
Yep.
I think that, you know, Brad will come clean. Him and Lucas will be back together or, get back together. And then Lucas will be the one who cheats.
Yeah.
I mean, they were really bludgeoning us over the head with how good of a person Lucas was, which tells me he's going to be the next one to.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I um really liked their conversation today and how Lucas
Hmm.
was just they were both being open to each other at the bar.
Hmm. Yeah.
Sure, it could have been alcohol. And you know what? It could have just been the change of scenery that they needed.
Right.
You know,
They
just
got away
out of
from
Port
Port
Charles.
Charles and all the ghosts and baggage there. There was nobody there to interrupt them.
Yep, exactly.
You know.
So yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think folks, I think we've covered just about everything.
Yep.
We are about out of time. We'll be back in a half hour at 10 p.m. Eastern for our brand new show, Gate Crashers. That'll be coming up. And Kim will be joining us. So we'll be here in just about a half hour. So, Angela, where can everybody find you?
They can find me at Brooklyn74 on Twitter or Angela Ryan Duncan on Facebook. They can also find me at pettyprattle.com. We have all the weekly spoilers this week up, and Mondays are up. And after we get off of here, we're going to be working on Tuesdays and get those up tonight for the daily spoilers. And a really fun article about all the soap history, a bunch of soap history from last week. And we have a bunch of fun articles coming up this week that I have planned that I'm working on. And yeah, so definitely go over to Petty Prattle, give us those clicks so we can build that up. Would be wonderful. And yeah, I'm just
All
around.
right.
I'm
And
everywhere.
as always, you can find me at Vinny Suds or at Suds Media on Twix, at Vinny Suds on Facebook, and suds-media.com for everything else. YouTube.com/at Suds Media. I want to thank the 205 people that are tuning in right now because you're loved. We thank you so much. And we'll be back in less than a half hour now at 10 p.m. Eastern to talk all about Beyond the Gates with Gate Crashers. All right, folks, we'll be back next week on Suds News at 8 p.m. Monday. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye.